This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
The thermometer says winter is just around the corner. That means road crews are racing to finish their work. Coming up, we have the complete rundown of where you can expect construction to slow you down this weekend. But first, here this midday, want to welcome you into RTV6, and we want to talk about your forecast. Our Halloween was kind of a washout with that rainy, snowy mix. It got so cold here in central Indiana. I want to check in with Todd Clausen and see what we can expect as we head into that weekend, Todd.
Yeah, the good news is we have the sunshine out there, Lauren, and that's helping things a little bit. But check out these temperatures from this morning. 24 degrees, official low in Indianapolis, got down to 23 in Peru. The last time we were at 24 degrees or colder was back on April 1st earlier this year. So it's been a long time, but with the sunshine out there, temperatures have warmed up into the 30s and getting close to 40 degrees in Bloomington, at 40 in Terre Haute, 38 officially in Indianapolis here at the top of the hour, and 39 is the current temperature in Muncie. So obviously we're still well below normal, but the good news is the sunshine always makes everything better, right? And we'll keep the sunshine here throughout the afternoon hours. Here's a live picture in Greencastle across the campus of DePaul University, and the clouds are well off to the east. As we look back off to the west, these clouds will eventually get in here late tonight, but the daytime hours today remain completely clear. And as far as that precipitation goes, that may try to sneak in here for your Saturday, but enjoy your Friday first. You're just going to have to bundle up a little bit if you're going to be out and about. Not as windy. Temperatures today into the mid-40s. This evening, if you have plans, including high school football, you're just fine. But temperatures will fall back down into the 30s very quickly, Lauren, once the sun sets.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Want to get to the breaking news this midday. Homicide detectives are at the scene after a person was found dead on the northwest side of Indianapolis. This was reported around 8:30 this morning near Elmira and 36th Streets, as just a little east of the White River. Police say that a man was found inside of a car, and later the man was pronounced dead at the scene. We're still working to find out more information about this investigation, and of course we'll have updates for you on the RTV6 app as that information comes in. One person is dead after a collision involving a moped and another vehicle. This happened early this morning in the southern part of Franklin in Johnson County. A driver rear-ended the moped along US 31 just south of the Hilltop Motel. The sheriff says that a vehicle in the front of the car hit the moped and it had just shifted lanes, and the driver says he did not see the moped driving close to the yellow line until it was too late. The man on the moped was identified as 50-year-old Matthew Aaron Fry of Franklin. The sheriff says the other driver is cooperating with investigators. Well, if you're driving anywhere across central Indiana over the weekend, you might want to get a head start. Road crews are going to be out there trying to get some last-minute construction done before the winter season gets here. So here's a look at a few of the closures that start tonight, with the rest of them starting Saturday or Sunday morning. First, crews will be working to repair winter damage, extending the life of pavement, and fixing some bridge joints. Right here, all lanes of I-465 northbound between 38th Street and 56th Street will close tonight at 10 o'clock. Will not reopen until 6 a.m. Monday. You'll have to reroute in that area. On Saturday, I-69 southbound from 116th Street down to 82nd Street. That's going to be down to one lane, so expect delays. And then over here on I-65 on the northwest side, both northbound and southbound, it's going to be down to one lane between I-465 and 30th Street all day Saturday and Sunday. Now, we can tell you there are several other lane closures plus ramp closures you'll need to be aware of this weekend. We have all the details broken down for you right now on our website, theindychannel.com. Out in Wayne County, an assistant principal at an intermediate school is facing charges after police say he was driving drunk when he led them on a short chase. Police out in Richmond say that an officer tried to pull over Chris Ross early this morning along US 40. Officers say Ross's car then sped up, and he led the officer on a chase for about a mile before finally pulling over. When the officer approached Ross's vehicle, he says Ross tried to accelerate again, but the officer opened the door and was able to stop him. Police say Ross had a blood alcohol level more than 3 times the legal limit. So far, Richmond City Schools have not commented on this arrest. Next Tuesday, voters in a handful of school districts will be deciding whether to send more taxpayer money to schools. In Carmel, voters will decide on a school safety referendum that could raise as much as $40 million for Carmel Clay schools. That request comes after state lawmakers voted this year to allow schools to seek safety referendums. If this vote passes up in Carmel, the owners of a home worth $250,000 would pay an additional $65 a year in taxes for the next 8 years. Carmel Clay schools would use this money to place at least one school resource officer in every school in that district. The money would also go towards mental health programming for students and professional safety training for teachers, staff, and administrators. Well, the vote was along party lines, but the House is moving forward with that impeachment investigation of President Trump. Up next, a more public investigation in which we can learn more about President Trump's attempt to get foreign countries to investigate his political rival. Here's ABC's Inez de la Cuetara with more.
Americans will be able to hear directly from impeachment inquiry witnesses as soon as the middle of this month, now that the House formally approved the investigation. House Democrats voting on a resolution setting the stage and rules for making hearings public.
When we move into open session, both parties will have an equal opportunity to question any witnesses that are called.
Republicans stood unanimously against the measure, even after they demanded a full House vote on impeachment. They're calling the process unfair.
But if the chair says they don't like the witnesses don't come forward.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pushing back.
You would have thought that the Republicans would all vote for it because it gave them more rights than we ever received in any of the other impeachment proceedings.
The impeachment vote breaking down on distinct party lines, and a new Washington Post ABC News poll shows the country is just as sharply divided, with 49% of Americans saying the president should be impeached and removed from office, and 47% saying he should not be. President Trump still slamming the impeachment inquiry and insisting he did nothing wrong.
It's a hoax. And, high crimes and misdemeanors. Well, what's a high crime and misdemeanor when you have a very appropriate conversation?
But on Thursday, White House official Tim Morrison testified that military aid to Ukraine was held up by the president to pressure Ukraine to investigate Trump's political opponents, though Morrison also said he saw nothing illegal about the quid pro quo.
Democrats haven't given an exact timeline for when they plan to make those hearings public. A few closed-door depositions are still scheduled before then, with a number of those scheduled for next week. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
Well, usually we talk about scammers targeting the elderly, but some criminals are taking aim at another group of people. Up next, tips for new moms on a gift card scheme that you need to watch out for. And remember these from your childhood or when your kids were younger? Coming up, the reason why some classic toys are making a comeback as McDonald's celebrates a big anniversary. Todd.
And Lauren, yesterday we dealt with the rain and the snow. Today we have plenty of sunshine out there, but it's a cooler day, and these cool temperatures, well, they're going to linger into your weekend forecast. We'll talk all about it when the news at noon continues right here on RTV6.
New American Housewife, tonight on ABC.
Time now for an RTV6 Consumer Alert. Joining me in studio today is Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau. Tim, we have a scam today that you need to know about if you're an expectant mother or a mother with maybe some little babies at home. They're targeting you.
Yeah, we're going to call this the Jenny B scam. And what happens is you're going to get an envelope that's going to look very personalized, look like it's meant for you, and there's going to be gift cards in it from a website called Mother's Nature. It's actually a store that's out of Utah, and it's going to be targeted at expectant mothers, but a lot of times, women who aren't pregnant will get this also. It'll say something like, congratulations on your pregnancy. A lot of women are like, hey, I'm not even pregnant. Why am I getting this? But when you use these cards, you think it's going to be a discount for the items that they have, and actually we found that the price of things can go up, particularly like they will take advantage of shipping and charge you more for shipping if you use one of these cards. So it's really just kind of a marketing ploy, not something that you're actually going to get a discount on. So if you do get something like that, always just read the fine print, check with BBB, and whenever you get any sort of a card or anything like that, you want to make certain that it's not been tampered with or anything where somebody could have gotten the number off the back or anything like that. But on this particular one, Jenny B is everyone's new best friend. Think you're going to get a deal.
She's not.
And she's not, no. So be careful if you get a envelope from Jenny B.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. This has been an RTV6 Consumer Alert. Well, large parts of California still are on fire. When will it die down? And the winds dying down could help firefighters gain control. We're going to show you where things stand for them as of right now. Here's a live look outside right now. Our view downtown to the west. Todd will have your full Storm Team 6 forecast coming up on the other side of the break. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Elder Law help you get your ducks in a row.
This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Good afternoon. I'm Chanley Painter. The fate of Ezra McCandless will soon be in the hands of a jury in Wisconsin. Attorneys began delivering closing arguments this morning after both sides rested yesterday. 22-year-old Ezra McCandless is charged with first-degree intentional homicide in the stabbing death of her former boyfriend, Alex Woodworth. She's claiming self-defense, saying he attacked her first. The final witness in the state's rebuttal case was a former friend of the defendant who testified McCandless didn't always tell the truth.
Did you go to school with her through middle school, high school?
Yes.
And were you friends with the defendant?
Yes.
Do you have an opinion as to the defendant's character for truthfulness or untruthfulness?
Yes, I do.
And what is that opinion?
They are not very truthful.
Did you have an opinion about the defendant's truthfulness before you saw the articles in the news or before this came out on March 22nd, 2018?
Yes.
And what was that opinion?
My opinion was that this person is not very truthful.
McCandless is facing life in prison if convicted. That's the latest for now. Stay with Court TV while we are in a verdict watch in this trial. Now back to you.
And you can learn more about other court cases all around the nation right now by visiting courttv.com. Out in California, firefighters are finally starting to get the upper hand on some of those wildfires that have been burning out of control. The high winds finally starting to die down, but as ABC's Matt Gutman tells us, another fire is actually causing some problems this midday.
The Maria fire is the biggest fire to burn since that Santa Ana event began earlier this week. This fire has consumed 8,000 acres plus in the Santa Paula area that's just west of L.A. And obviously it's destroyed a home too, but it churned through those 8,000 acres in about 6 hours. Really astonishing given that the winds have died down so dramatically. At least one home destroyed. We know of other structures that are damaged as well. This is one of at least 10 fires to have burned in this part of California, and firefighters have pounced on them. I'm going to have my cameraman turn around so you can see. The engines are here as well. Firefighters duck in behind the engine, but they have been out on the fire lines for weeks now, putting out fire after fire. Not an enormous number of structures destroyed in these fires, and in many ways, Southern California really dodged a bullet. These could have been so much worse given the power and the ferocity of the winds that we witnessed, propelling flames at 50, 60, even 70 miles an hour. So powerful that they actually enabled flames to leap over highways at times. Firefighters will continue to try to put these flames out and to control this Maria fire. Right now, the winds are down, the temperatures are cool, so it looks favorable for them. Matt Gutman, ABC News, near Santa Paula, California.
Matt, thank you. Back here at home, want to take a live look outside. This is our Weather Note camera here in Greencastle at DePaul University. And Todd, I love this shot because not only can you see all the blue skies, but you can start to see the leaves changing color on all those trees. A beautiful fall look here.
Yeah, and we're finally going to have a decent weekend. Last weekend, Saturday, was a washout, so I'm sure a lot of people were disappointed not getting out to do those fall activities. Well, you can do all that leaf peeping and the fall activities here throughout the course of this weekend. You're just going to have to bundle up a little bit, but by the time we get to tomorrow, you'll be used to it. Look at these low temperatures from this morning. Got down to 22 degrees in Crawfordsville, Zionsville down to 23 degrees. Anderson 24 officially in Indianapolis as well. Again, the coldest since the 1st of April of this year. Outside right now, lots of sunshine as you look to the north, and that's the good news. Sunshine and a temperature of 38 feels a lot better than cloudy skies and a 38-degree temperature. The winds out of the west-southwest currently at 9 miles per hour, and all the temperatures here in central Indiana, with the exception of Terre Haute, are still in the 30s, and 38 in Greencastle, 36 in Tipton. Still real chilly in Peru at 34 degrees, 37 in Martinsville and Bloomington at 39. We'll eventually see high temperatures today get up into the low 40s in northern locations, about 46 in Indianapolis, and some locales down to the south, you'll get close to 50 degrees. So overall, again, it's just a quiet Friday for us with below normal temperatures and winds that are fairly light across the area, so I don't have to worry about about that. So the clouds have moved off towards the east. We have the clear skies in place right now, and as we expand out, you do notice a little bit of cloud cover already starting to build into Chicago. There's some rain and snow here as well. One thing you'll notice tonight, most likely after sunset, is the clouds will start to build in. But high school football, that'll be just fine across the area. We're heading to some of these playoff games. 42 degrees. You may need the blanket to sit in the stands as temperatures will cool off into the 30s as a lot of these games progress into the second half. Now, overnight tonight, those clouds come in, and I showed you that precipitation. It's not out of the question tomorrow morning, if you're out and about, that you could see a snowflake, maybe a few sleet pellets, or maybe a drop of rain. Nothing major, but just don't be shocked if you see it. And overall, tomorrow's partly to mostly cloudy for us. And even in the afternoon hours, there could be a quick passing shower. Can't completely rule it out, but for the most part, we're just looking at mostly cloudy skies throughout the day tomorrow, with temperatures that will be in the 40s once again, starting off tomorrow morning right around the freezing mark. About 43 will be your high temperature. If you're heading to IU, a 7 p.m. kickoff against Northwestern, 40 degrees, but falling into the 30s. It's a noon kick up in West Lafayette against Nebraska for Purdue, temperature of 43 degrees. And then this weekend, of course, do not forget to turn the clocks back 1 hour. Use that opportunity to change the batteries in your smoke detectors as well. And here's a look at your 7-day planning forecast. Sunday's the better day of the weekend simply because it's sunnier, a little bit warmer at 49 degrees, then back up into the 50s, Lauren, for Monday and Tuesday.
All right, Todd, question for you. Back in the day, Jersey Todd, as a little kid, did you have a lot of Happy Meals?
I think I did. You know, you always wanted to get the little toy, see what it was.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about right now. I remember the Inspector Gadget toys. I had to get every single one of those. You know, that's how they get you.
Yeah, my nephews still like to get them, I'll tell you that much.
Still a thing, obviously. This is actually the 40th anniversary of the Happy Meal, the mother of all kids' meals, you could say. McDonald's is celebrating by bringing back some classic Happy Meal toys. McDonald's will sell these limited edition surprise Happy Meals that contain a throwback toy. 15 toys will be available, including some of those old school McDonald's characters like Grimace and the Hamburglar that go back to the 1970s. Also some classic Chicken McNuggets characters like Cowboy McNugget. Those are coming back. You might also get the My Little Pony figure that came out more than 20 years ago. Or do you remember when these were hot? The Patty the Platypus, that is, Beanie Baby. We all love Beanie Babies. The surprise Happy Meals will be available at McDonald's for 5 days only. That runs from November 7th through the 11th. Let's take another live look outside right now. We're going to have more details on that Friday forecast and look ahead to your weekend. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
That's the benefit of Medicare from Anthem.
So Thursday on RTV6, we showed you video that's now been seen millions of times. A rather unique celebration here, the Washington Nationals World Series win over the Astros. And now we're hearing from the young man behind that belly flop that was heard all across the nation's capital, all across the nation, I would say. This here is Jason Turner. He's a 19-year-old college student. And after the Nationals got that last out on Wednesday night, his flop on top of the dugout at Nationals Park became a sensation. Well, Turner told CNN that it's a good thing the Nationals won because he made his call to do this headfirst slide earlier in the game.
Like during the game when Greinke was having our number, kind of, I lean over to my buddy. I'm like, if we win this game, I'm doing a slip and slide across his dugout. And he's like, all right, do it. It blew my mind. Like, I looked at my phone and I was on Barstool before I left Nats Park, and I didn't think it was going to get like a lot bigger than that.
Well, Jason did admit to cheating just a little bit with the shirt. He says he ripped it a little bit during the game so that it would be easier to tear off before his big slide. I think that's what you do, Todd. If you know you're going to rip your shirt off, you got to start it a a little bit.
He just went all Hulk Hogan on that shirt and just ripped it off.
And then he does like a little worm
the little
action.
worm.
That's my favorite part.
I love it. Hey, it's all good, clean fun, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want to see. All right, outside, mostly sunny this afternoon, 45 degrees. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy. Could be a stray sprinkle tomorrow, but nothing major, 44. Up to 50 degrees with lots of sunshine on Sunday.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us here and making RTV6 your choice for news. Come on back. Join us for the news at 5 o'clock this evening. We hope you get outside, have a great afternoon, and, hey, have a great weekend.